Speaking of multiple times, so I know it's a little old lore meta, but can I get the TLDR on the Disney cruise? Because we haven't really talked.
Oh,
What was fun about it, and then what was like hog you about it?
I think it's one of those things where you almost have to like have kids to understand. Because
Okay.
before I had kids, the idea of like being a captive audience on like a cruise ship where basically the thrill of it was a buffet seemed kind of like lame.
Well, you're
But
trapped. You can never get off, right?
well, you get off in like some towns and stuff like that.
All right. So you're on this cruise. So what changed for you being trapped on a cruise to like you
Well,
forward to it?
having a child at home, and again, people are gonna people talk this, and that's fine. But you understand that every day you got a lot of stuff to do. You got your job, you got getting them ready for daycare, packing a lunch, picking them up from the daycare, cooking them dinner, doing the dishes, giving them a bath, and all of this also comes with a certain level of friction associated with it sometimes. Like sometimes they're like, yay, bath time, and sometimes they're like, I'm never gonna take another bath again. So being on a cruise where basically 100% of your needs are taken care of, like you don't have to cook, you don't have to clean, everything's like set like that. You don't have to wonder what are we gonna have for lunch. You're like, oh, here's where our dinner is tonight. Here's where like the buffet's open at this time. Plus, some stuff that was like, kid-focused activities, like they got splash parks on the boat and stuff like that. Like, it was a life of leisure, rather than like a trip where you get like a cultural experience, like I would take when I was younger, where you just like, hey, I don't know, we'll just fly into the airport and like figure out what's going on. Once we land, I don't know, we'll just figure out where to go to dinner once we land. It's kind of hard to do that with like a 1-year-old, so.
But
Yeah, it was like life on easy mode. I think Chad described it that way.
but you're not the only person there, so there's other people there with other kids. Is it like chaos?
No, I mean there's lots of kids for sure, but like they're not my kids. So if they're going crazy, what do I care?
I mean, well, what if one start
None of my business.
super on your daughter? You know what I mean? Like, does a pile driver?
Yeah, that never happened.
Okay.
As far as I know, at least. Plus,
Okay.
they have like a daycare there for kids that are like 0 to 3, and then they got another daycare for kids that are like 4 to 12.
Okay.
So it was like,
Were you okay? Like, because I know you and Kate are pretty dialed in as parents. Were you guys
Yeah.
okay with that?
We only put her in the daycare for like 2 hours one day because we got like a reservation at the good brunch restaurant.
Oh,
So we went to the brunch restaurant while she was in the daycare. Had like as many mimosas as we could have in in an hour and a half, and then went back home or went back to pick her up.
Mom and Dad need a little vacation too.
Yeah.
You know.
Dude, drink
But-
the red juice. Every red juice you drink gives you 10% more damage on every attack.
Okay.
So,
And then, so real quick on the cruise, was there like were there shows and stuff to do? Like watch Mickey Mouse do like Gundam style?
yeah, not
Okay.
Gundam style, I guess, or Gangnam style, I guess is what you're going for. I see.
So to tie up the cruise, so it was just life on easy mode. You didn't have to worry about cleaning up. You could just go eat. You walk away. The kid doesn't want to eat. Okay, hey, let's go run to the pool. You get splash it up. Did
We
any of
were-
it?
Like
Go ahead.
right after most vacations, I don't know if you can relate, but by like the last couple of days, I'm like, you know what? I'm ready to go back home. This one, like on the last day, I was like, I just want to get on like another one, like right away.
Did you feel like trapped ever? Like that's what would be my concern.
I think you don't feel trapped because, I mean, it's a big ship. I would probably feel trapped if it started to sink. Then I would be like, I'm trapped. But it's like the size of like an apartment building turned on its side.
Okay. When you were sleeping, did you feel the boat rocking? Did you get motion sickness at all?
My wife did, but I did not. But I saw a lot of people that had like these sticker things under their earlobes, which I guess helps with seasickness. But I don't think I'm a seasick guy.
But when you laid down for sleep, was your body moving up and down?
Yeah, you move a little bit, you rock.
I got you. All right, let me ask this for the people that are like, what was the toughest thing about the cruise? The thing you're like, I could do without this, or this was asked for, parentheses, not asked for.
I mean, the boarding process is kind of annoying. Like, because you basically are going to an airport like you're going through airport security and stuff like that. But it's, I don't know if it's just Vancouver. Like, I didn't think our cruise ship terminal was bad, but I was like, man, it was like a 2-hour process to get on the cruise. But then part of that was also because everybody with kids, which is everybody on the boat, if the kids were like under the age of 5, so unvaccinated, they had to take a COVID test day of. So I guess I got a lot of respect for the fact that they were literally giving like 1,000 toddlers COVID tests that day, so maybe the inconvenience that I felt personally is not that bad.
Wait, but I didn't even think about it. So you didn't even have to take a flight. You just went right out of Vancouver.
Yeah, that's what's amazing. Cool. So everybody else was getting off the boat. They're like, oh, I gotta go into a hotel, then we're sleeping, then we're catching a flight from Vancouver to North Carolina. Oh, and I was like, we're gonna get in our car and drive for like 15 minutes.
That's the best part, right there. Go in your backyard, but that's cool. I'm glad you guys had a good time.
I would definitely like highly recommend it if you have kids, especially young kids. Like it's look, you'll meet some crazy people. Like there's Disney families that are like, you know, this is like our 17th cruise we've been on in 5 years.
Oh yeah, are like experience badges that they display?
Yes, I didn't know that this was a thing. But like they on their doors they have like magnetic stickers that are like the Wilson family. This is my son Tony Spider-Man Wilson. Like I didn't know anything about it, but Kate told me it's a real thing.
Wait, so were you guys like, what's the lowest tier Disney character?
Well, we were like just, you know, the Laterno family.
I know, but what was your icon? Were you like Goofy or someone like that?
We had no icon. Our icon was just our room number. So,
oh, okay.
But there were, I mean, dude, Disney is crazy. I didn't know. We were talking to the Disney staff a little bit, and they were like, oh, are you a member of the Disney Vacation Club? And I was like, what's that? And it's like a timeshare. You give them like $40,000, and then every year for 50 years, you get 100 Disney points, and you can redeem the Disney points to go. Oh, there's a lad right on this box. Like I didn't know what it was about in the slightest. This is a whole new world for me.
What was did they have like Disney burgers or what do they serve there? Is everything?
You had Mickey Mouse. I mean, everything. Every dinner is like at each restaurant is themed a little different. So like one night it's like, oh, we're going to the Tiana's Palace, which is like the Princess and the Frog restaurant, and then it's like, you know, Louisiana themed, but it's like, you know, Tiana burgers. Ed the Chameleon's shrimp jambalaya, but it's not. I mean, only the kids stuff is really themed to that extent. Like you get a Mickey Mouse shaped waffle or something.
Did you have a go-to restaurant where you're like, yo, Goofy's Goof jambalaya spot, or like
the food was actually really good. Like the adult food was, I would say, on par with a good restaurant.
So other lore meta I got to catch up on with you. So
yeah.
I particularly like the name that you called it, but like Little Caesar, like
you
were knocked out for a while.
Yeah, I almost died, I think.
Oh, all right, give me the non-content version.
The non-content version?
Like how death were you?
I think if modern medicine didn't exist, I possibly could have died in like 2 months.
Okay.
I don't know what it feels like to die, but this is certainly the closest I've ever come from any kind of illness. Like by a lot.
And it was a combination 2 bacteria?
Yeah, it was 2 food poisonings at the same time. So like the first 4 days was just really, really bad diarrhea. Like I would go like 12 times a day, sometimes more.
Okay.
I would go, I would come out. Kate would be like, "Are you okay?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I think that's it." And then like 5 minutes later, I'd be like, "No, I gotta go again." So that was like 4 days, and then after that, I thought I was feeling a little bit better, and I sort of was. Like the diarrhea wasn't so bad. It was only like 6 to 8 times a day, and you know I knew I had to keep myself hydrated, so I was drinking a bunch of Gatorade and stuff like that, and a ton of water. But then I started to get like fevers almost every night. And like, I mean, I was just not feeling like myself. I was feeling really bad. I couldn't work out. Like when I worked out, my Peloton output was like 30% to 50% of what it used to be, and I lost like 10 pounds in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I started going to the ER and the urgent care and the doctors, and they were all like, well, you know, it should, oh, I've gone free falling by accident. You want to land on this tall building?
Yeah.
There's gonna be two lads there for sure. But...
culture in your intestines, or how did they get it?
Yeah, I got like a bunch of stool samples, and then I had a colonoscopy, and I had a CT scan and stuff like that.
I thought you were just due for a colonoscopy. I didn't know that.
No, not at all. It was connected to the.
Were you knocked out when they did that?
No. But that wasn't even, I mean, like, maybe this is the best way to think about it. The colonoscopy was like, 1% of the badness of the illness. The thing that really started to scare me was when, like, I started to get, like, this rash on my leg, or I thought it was a rash, and then it just started, like, spreading up my leg. It was really itchy. and extremely painful. Like, even just my pants rubbing up against that part of my leg would feel really bad.
It's like a movie or something.
Yeah, and it was getting worse every day. Also, when I had something called pitting edema, which is like there's swelling in your lower limbs, and when you like push in on it with your finger, the skin does not snap back. It just makes like a divot that stays there for a couple hours.
Sounds like one of our supers in this game, but it was, what's it called? A septic penic? What's it called?
Pitting edema?
Pitting edema. Okay.
And then finally, so I went to the ER, and the doctor was like, yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on with this, so I'm going to refer you to like a specialist. The referral was like 2 weeks away. Then I got a phone call 2 days later that was like, we've had a cancellation. Can you come in? And I was like, yes. And then that doctor probably saved me. Because she was like, what is going on? You're dying, and you're 33 years old. So she booked me for a bunch of blood tests and a CT scan that I took that day, and stool sample cultures and stuff like that, and then gave me a prescription for antibiotics that day, which is the only thing I'd been asking for from the medical system for like, the 3 weeks that I'd been going to the hospital and wasting 12 hours a day just for fun in the waiting room. So I think I'm going to send her like a really nice Christmas card or something, because
I don't want to be
she might have saved me.
I don't want to be K Kona, but I feel like in America, that's the first thing they go to is antibiotics. Like that's like step one, and not whatever steps you just went through.
I'm not going to get into that. But I will say I have in-laws who are doctors and are like, no, that sounds like fairly similar to the U.S., but maybe it's different state to state. I don't know.
I got you.
Maybe Washington's a little different.
The good news is you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. My Peloton output is up to May 2022 levels, so I just got a little bit further to go to get to June, and then we're chilling again. Oh, you got two guys chasing you, huh?
Yeah,
I'm on you.
But don't you have like a greater appreciation for being healthy now?
Yes, very much so. That was an insane hit, Dan. He's KO'd.